Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Anyway. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for checking me out. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, what we're going to be doing, I thought I would love to sit down and talk about this, especially if it's you or somebody you know, or maybe you're thinking about doing this and you're in a similar situation that I was a couple months ago, about almost half a year ago now, where you are thinking about going to beauty school. Now that could be either cosmetology specifically or esthetician, massage therapy, others like that. If you're thinking about doing it, I wanted to give you guys a couple tips of, especially if you're brand new, you don't know what to do, like I was back in June, and you don't know what to look for. I thought this would be a great video, especially to give you guys like a little heads up or a little tip. And I'll probably be making a series about 5 things you should know throughout the process of if you're going to beauty school, after beauty school, and everything like that. But this is the starting point, so this is going to be a series, a continuous series. And if you feel like I need to talk more about a specific topic that I speak about today, let me know down in the comments. I can make a whole nother video talking about it and going more in depth than I might be going in this video. So let me know. So let's get into talking about going to beauty school. Okay. So, first things first, you are choosing what you want to do. You think about, well, I want to go to cosmetology school, or I want to go to esthetician school, or massage therapy school. They all are in a subcategory under just beauty school in general, okay? So, if you are looking for any of those kinds of paths to go down, you look to go towards a beauty school to be taught and to go for either, it depends. So if you're going for massage therapy and esthetician school, it can take up to 6 months. But if you're going for like cosmetology, that can be for a year. So it just depends. And plus also it depends on your state as well. So make sure you are aware of state regulations and hours that you need to make for specific schooling that you're going to get. So I know for the state of Florida, where I reside, is for cosmetology it's 12 to 1500 hours, and that's throughout the whole entire year that you're going to school. And that depends also if you're doing full-time, part-time. Some schools offer both, just depends, so that's why you need to do your research. But like esthetician, we needed 600 hours. I think it is the same for massage therapy, at least in the state of Florida. But yeah, like I said, go check out your state regulations and hours that you need to have done. Do that kind of research to start doing. When you're looking for a beauty school, the first step is that you need to do is look at their curriculum and look at reviews from past students. And I put definitely in my notes for the past students. And I say this because, okay, so I say that because you need to look at the curriculum, obviously, to know that, say, like how my schooling was, I'm a full specialist, so it was for a full specialist esthetician. I was learning nails, makeup, facials, devices, a couple other things. But once I got into school, you kind of like spend like a day doing it with some of these, and it kind of sucks. And that's why when I say look at past reviews from students, they will talk about that school and say, well, this happened at my school and this happened at my school. And especially if it's across the state or if it's across the country and there's multiple of these schools, look if there are issues at your specific one that you're searching for, or look at the ones in other states that possibly are having similar issues. Because even for my school, which I'm not going to say where I went for privacy reasons, but also don't want to get sued, but I will still talk about my experience. I'm just not going to name drop the school. But when I was in school, I was looking at past reviews. We're dealing with similar issues throughout the state. Let's just say that. Throughout the state, at all the other schools, we were having similar issues as a broad thing. So it's a, I don't know how to say it. It's a school thing. For this specific school, apparently, this happened a lot at these schools. So, which I didn't know that, and then when I started looking into that, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. But like I said, look at the curriculum. Make sure that it addresses everything that you are curious about and what you want to know, especially when you are deciding to go to school, because school's not cheap. My schooling was $12,000. I know that either the class right after us or the class after that, they paid $2,000 more for the same stuff that we, and like it was barely a couple other things, but it was not worth $2,000. I will tell you that. So that's what I was saying. Definitely do your research. Definitely look into curriculum, look into reviews, because that is going to save your ass in the long run. Okay. Number 2, you are looking, you have a couple schools in mind, you think that you want to maybe go to this school or that school, or maybe you got 3 in mind. Okay. You need to schedule a tour if you haven't already done so. You need to go visit the facility that you will be going to either every other day, every other night, whatever your schedule might end up being, whether it's part-time or full-time. Okay. So full-time is 3 days. Mine was Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The other class was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays they were closed. So depends on your schedule, depends on also what side you were going to choose. Now, if they are anything like my school, we had A side and B side. I was B side, like I said, that was my schedule. A side was the Monday through Friday one, and then we only go 3 days a week, but that is considered full-time, at least for them, because they are full-time all day. So you're there from 9 to about 5. And I don't know for other schools, but at least that was my school. And especially the reason why you want to schedule a tour, not just to look at the facility specifically, which is very important and you need to do that. Also know how far it actually is from where you live. You need to know, can I drive this distance every day? Or, I mean, not every day. Well, maybe, depending on your scheduling for the school, or depending on your curriculum. I don't know for specifics. It could be every day, or every other day, particularly. But you need to know how far it is from where you live, especially, am I going to drive this every other day, every day, whatever it might be, to go to school, to spend, I don't know, 8 hours at school, 6 hours at school, depending. And is it worth it? Is it worth the drive? Is there one a little bit closer to me that I think that would work better? You know, you gotta start processing those things and those questions as well. And also, the reason why I said to go look at the facility, also because you want to know, are they clean? Do they take care of their students? Do they take care of their clients that walk in when they have the other half of the schooling year taking care of your client? Are their actual clients getting good treatments? Also, you want to be aware, because even during my tour, right before I walked in, I was pulling up and the fire marshal was there at the school, and I should have known that was a red flag, to be completely honest. But I didn't. I didn't think nothing about it, and then once it started happening, I was like, oh, yeah, I came that day. The fire marshal was here, and it was because somebody put something in the washer or dryer. I think it was a dryer, and it caught flames, and everybody had to evacuate, and the fire marshal and fire trucks had to come extinguish the fire inside and check and everything, and then we were down a dryer at that point. But yeah, so that was right when I was pulling up to my school for the tour, and I was like, what in the world is happening? But then I also was like, like I didn't even think about it. And then once like it started happening, I was in school, and then other occurrences were happening a little bit, and I was like, that makes so much sense now. I should have probably not gone here, but it's whatever now. I'm too far gone now. But yeah, that's why I say especially to look and schedule a tour of the facility, because you want to know if something like that is happening at your school, You want to know. You want to be aware, because if it's happening at your school, you're about to get into that, and that's going to keep happening probably, knowing if that already is happening when you're going to your tour or whatever. Yeah, that's going to keep happening while you're there, either the year or the 6 months that you're going to be going. But yeah, so I wanted to share that. That was a point that I wanted to make sure to tell y'all. The next one is check your kit that they offer. I put, if it doesn't come with products offered to you, then it might not be the school. And I say that from personal preference. Because when I got offered my kit, so they show this, I don't know if every school does this, but at least my school did it. They showed the kit on this little shelving unit where they bring you into this room and they're talking about the schooling, the scheduling, and everything like that, the program itself. And then they have a little shelf for both sides, for cosmetology and estheticians, and they have it laid out and displayed of what's coming in your kit. And I don't know if every school does it, but at least for mine, that's how they had it. So I was looking and I was like, okay, cool. But once I got into doing school, and yeah, like, it's fun. Kitmas is awesome. Kitmas is great. Let me just tell you that at least for mine, $1,000 or more went into getting an iPad. An iPad, this specific one. An iPad that I didn't really need. An iPad that I already had one. I didn't need another one. But now I have 2 iPads for whatever reason. And yes, even though obviously I must still use it, it's an iPad, come on. But it's like, you know, that money could have gone somewhere else. You know, like, it could have gone to other things that you could have got in your kit. You don't necessarily need an iPad. And I get, like, yes, I get why to possibly have an iPad, especially when you're in class and you're doing notes and you're following the lesson and you have to have it pulled up on your iPad and you're writing down in the big old book. And I'll probably be making a video about later on what my kit had. And so, yeah, so I was just like, then once we were getting into school and we were almost done, and we started seeing videos of other people going to beauty school and becoming and getting esthetician stuff and doing their license as well at other schools, they were getting serums, they were getting masks, they were getting cleansers, they were getting a bunch of stuff. You want to know what we got in ours? We got one thing of hand cream that we had to use throughout the whole entire thing, even though, yes, I still have it, and it's still pretty much full. We had to use that on clients, so that took up the majority of our product. But cream as well, I think that's literally it. Those are the 2 products that we got. Everything else was just in the cabinet. You had to go get it, but you couldn't take it. You couldn't take it home with you. You couldn't do nothing with it. So I was like, and we were all pissed off. I will tell you that. My whole class, at least, we all talked about it, and we were like, seriously, why didn't we get serums and moisturizers and cleanser and everything like that? Even though, yes, we're using the products during class, but we should get our own supply as well, because you see how much money we're spending. That should go towards getting us supplies so we can start building our kit and start working towards that and do things that we're wanting to do. And the reason why we're coming to school, we should be able to have those things offered to us in our kits, but they weren't. So that's kind of what I want you guys to be aware of, that some schools do this, some schools don't. If they don't, probably look at more schools and check other schools' kits, because as a student esthetician, you definitely would love to have products, whether that is their brand or not, or the brands that they partner with, or whatever it might be. Do that, because it is better to do that rather than find out like 5 months in and then figure out, oh, this school has this, and this school gave them an iPad, a tote bag, serums, all this product, all this other stuff that we don't use on a daily basis. We use like 3 things, 4 things. We don't use hardly any of these things. Why do we get it? There's no reason. And then especially if we're only using it for like a day, we didn't need it. or we could have just went and got our own, or whatever, like, or they could have just gave it to us. And then especially, like, there's other things I'm going to talk about later and other topics. I'm thinking about them right now. I was about to say it, but I'm going to hold off. But yeah, like I said, make sure what's in your kit. If there's not hardly any products, probably look at another school, because they're going to make you buy it yourself. Make you spend all this money on your stuff when originally they could have probably just given it to you, honestly, and given it to all these students because they make enough money, let's be honest. So the next topic I want to talk about is a question you need to make sure to ask. And especially if you're looking at reviews, make sure teachers are on the same page. Okay? Make sure, if you say you're doing SE, I'm going to use SE as just an example, and I know this applies to either massage therapy, cosmetology, it applies everywhere, at least from my experience, my personal experience, SE. Please have your teachers on the same curriculum teaching skill page. It is the same as even if you are in middle school, elementary, high school, college, whatever. This is a vocational college. This is a technical college. There needs to be a curriculum that all teachers follow. Yes, teachers might have a different teaching style, but I don't want teacher A and teacher B and maybe even teacher C, teacher D telling me 4 to 5 different ways to do something when I have been taught by, say, teacher A teaches me how to do this, okay? Teacher B comes in the next day because teacher A is not here. Says, why are you doing it like that? You're supposed to be doing it like this. Well, teacher A taught me how to do it like this. No, you should be doing it like this. So then I do it like that. Teacher A comes back. Why are you doing it like that? Teacher B told me to do it like that. Well, you shouldn't do it like that. You should do it the original way I taught you. It doesn't matter. That is why this is an important point on this list, because it is so aggravating to go through 6 months of schooling and turn around one day and figure out, oh, you didn't need to do that. Why would you get taught that way? Let me tell you, okay? And I say this, and this is why I'm getting like this. Being in intro, 3 months. 3 months of school, okay? And this is why I say this, because intro teacher teaches us a certain way. We learn it this way. We learn it the brand way that they want to be taught, and they want us to be taught. We get into clinic, and I'm pretty sure it's the same exact way for any other schools. It's intro and then clinic for the rest of the 3 months. So we get into clinic, first day. Why did you get taught that way? You don't need to do it that way. Well, really, you don't actually need to do it that way. You need to do it like this. Why do we go through 3 months of being taught to do this when we didn't need it? Or we didn't need to learn it this way, and we could have just done it the way we wanted to do it. Get taught a generic way, but then be like, oh, but you can do it. You can do it however you want. Just, this is the way I'm supposed to teach you, but you can emphasize and put your own spin on it or whatever. That would have been fine. But no, we were told, no, you have to do it this specific way and this specific way only. Then get into clinic. You don't need to do that. Why are you doing it like that? Do it like this. Stop it right there. If you go into a tour and you ask, and especially like I said, because they could tell you all types of shit on your tour. They could be like, yeah, we're awesome. We do this, we do that, we do this, blah, blah, blah. Look at reviews. Look at reviews. Ask people, have you ever been to this school? Does this ever happen? Are there teachers on the same page? Or this, and this, whatever. Ask other people. Go on forums. Plenty of forums out there, especially for schools, especially for beauty schools. Because we like to inform other people and let people know, this is what you're about to get into, sis. This is what you need to know. This is what you're going to be dealing with on a daily basis. Be prepared. So that is why I say, please make sure, whether you are asking admins, whether you are looking on reviews and asking past students, please make sure that their teachers are on the same page, because if not, you're going to go through 6 months of bullshit. Okay? I just want to be completely honest with you. I dealt with it. It was very annoying, very frustrating, and basically having to unlearn 3 months worth of shit that I did not need to do when I could have just taken the time and done it. However, you know, it's very frustrating when that happens. And I know I'm not the only one. I know plenty of other people feel the exact same way. I don't know if, you know, cosmetology does the same thing. I'm pretty sure based off my schooling, the other side, cosmetology, probably goes through the same thing with the different phases. This is why you need to make sure that this is something that you look at as well. Okay. Number 5. The last final thing, at least for this video, and like I said, we're going to go into more. We're going to have more videos. We're going to talk about it. Okay. Check for extra certifications and courses that they offer. Okay. I said this because I don't know if you've ever noticed, I have my certifications framed up with my license over there, my diploma over there, another little certification that doesn't really mean anything. But all the ones that I pay for are framed up there. I don't know if you guys can ever see it, but they are above me. I only got 3 because that's only what my school offered. My school did offer one other one for lashing, but until it was too late, I didn't realize that we could also do it, SDs do it, because it was a cause teacher doing it. I didn't know everybody can do it until it was too late, but it didn't matter. And then plus I started debating on not doing lashes either way, so it was okay. But so I am looking at them right now. I have dermaplaning, like, or needling, chemical peels. Okay, those are good. Those are good certifications to have. But the more certifications, the more extra courses you have under your belt, the more likely you will be hired from a spa place wherever. Especially going to like a med spa. You need to have other specific certifications. None of those. Those are okay, yeah, but you need to have more. You need to have other coursework done. You need to know this, this, and this. Make sure to look and know their prices, because especially when you are getting towards the end, you're getting some of these, and these are like great. You don't know anything about once you get out. These are the most generic ones that you could have, and I'm being completely honest with you guys, because even with me having them as of this very moment in April of this year, still don't have an SD job. Nobody's hiring, at least in my area. Nobody's hiring. Have had a couple interviews, but some of them want me to have already clients because they're commission based, and a lot of spas, unless you're going to a specific chain, are commission based. And this is why I'm going to tell you. I will go more into detail about that in another video. But just keep in mind that when you're looking, that once you're getting out, those 3 are pretty generic. Even though, yes, they're good to have, and it's better that I have them than me just having my license and my diploma, and that's it. At least I can say, yes, I have 3 other certifications, and I'm certified in doing these processes and services. But they're pretty generic. A lot of people have them. Doesn't make you stand out as much compared to somebody who may have 1 more certification or already been there doing SD stuff or having clients or whatever it might be. So that's why I say, while you're in school, start looking into that the second you're in it, or even before you're in it, because you need to know, okay, I can get oncology certification, I can get whatever, like microblading, lashes, what others? There's a bunch. There's a whole bunch. I have a whole list, even for myself, personally. But start doing research. Start looking into it. Electrolysis, that was another one I'm trying to think of. And that's for laser hair removal and other things. Start looking into it, start processing it, start realizing how much do these cost? How much am I going to have to put forward to these as well? So that I know for whenever I am ready to go, I can jump into that and start doing that and get that, and then I can go get a job. And I can look even more better. And that's why I want to let you guys know that, at least, because it's a big thing. It's going to be a big thing once you get it towards the end. But at least this is just the beginning. Like I said, this is just you looking. This is just you getting your feet wet a little bit into the beauty school atmosphere and figuring out whether you want to do it or not. But be aware of these things while you're doing that and be prepared. And I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys learn some things about beauty school. And let me know if you guys are interested in the other parts of my series I plan on doing. Let me know anything you want me to talk more in detail about. I will. I'll make a whole video about it if you guys want me to. But just, you know, keep in mind these things and look for these things while you're looking for school. And even if you're in school right now, start being aware of this as well. And like I said, I'll make another video about that as well. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Go follow me on TikTok, as long as TikTok's still around, and Instagram at Aesthetics by Carson. And go watch any of my other videos. Go hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.